Great race from race 2. We better bring you a roundup of race 1 first. And away from the line, it was that man again. Yes, your eyes don't deceive you. Adam Palfreyman is out in 2 or 3 classes this year, and the number 64 rider managed to get himself the whole shot in race 1 ahead of Tony Hughes, a name you may remember from last season in the Street Fighters. The Street Fighter limits, of course, A, B and C, all separated by engine size. 130 brake horsepower limit on the A class, 95 brake horsepower limit in the Bs, and 75 brake horsepower limit in the Cs. And it was not too long before Adam Palfreyman managed to gap the rest of the field. And one of the main reasons for that was because Tony Hughes here in second position, number 35, you just see the start of it there. Fortunately, high-siding into clearways, and that was the end of his race. Sean Goldsmith, the 2010 Street Fighter C champion, who's out there on his road bike, and he's got company, and that's not the first time that these two have had a scuffle out on circuit. Tony Hughes making easy work of Sean Goldsmith into Graham Hill. He's trying to keep with Keith Warren, so Goldsmith has gone from second to fourth in just a couple of corners. He's going to use the power of that MV Augusta, though, to try and have a look up the inside on the Cooper Straight. Doesn't really work out. So it's Palfreyman that leads, Keith Warren in second, Hughes there in third, the supermoto. Powerful machine of Adam Palfreyman. He'll try and use that on the Cooper Straight, no doubt. Through Druids they go, and any one of these 3 riders could win this race outright. The Street Fighter Extreme, 25 points up for grabs. It's Hughes from Palfreyman and Keith Warren. And we've got a bit of a last lap dash now, and this is really the only chance that Palfreyman has got on the Cooper Straight, and he's got a lot of speed now going into Surtees, but Hughes has the advantage still. Can he hold off and take the win? It would be a remarkable victory if he can do that on a machine that's capped out at 75 brake horsepower, and he's got some good drive, but the power of that Street Fighter B machine might just outdo him on the straight. It's going to be a run to the line. Who's going to win it? It looks like it's going to be Hughes. It is Tony Hughes, Mr. Punch, takes Street Fighter win in the...
He'll be out of the medal ceremony, but up front it is Mark Hughes, still from Seb Rubin, and Seb is right in his wheel traction. He's matching him lap time for lap time, so not a lot in it at the front. Errolana still there in third, just perhaps quite supposed to lose this in light.
Finished third in the first year, second the second year, and last year, of course, he was the winner. So, number 17, Popplewell, tips it into Edwinas. There's Mr. Punch next to him. Speaking of characters, Popplewell and Mr. Punch. It doesn't get more exciting than that. All they're really missing are the likes of Denya the Meerkat and Smithy, Mr. Potato Head. Ended up in a pile and needed new leathers. So, I wonder what frame of mind will get the better of Ian Popplewell, currently in second place at the moment behind Reece Rothwell. There is Palfreyman still third. Mick Riddle there in fourth place. Mick, a regular Thundersport rider from in the Forces, and then it's number 35, Sixes already. Still no sign of anyone beating that lap record held by Jamie Wilkins all those years ago. I say all those years ago, probably just only 2 years ago. Jamie Wilkins across the line to take third. And we now wait to see who's going to finish in fourth and fifth. It looks like Tony Hughes might struggle on power. They're going to be side by side across the line. Hughes just loses out there.
See winner Tony Hughes. Tony, a great race out there today.
Yeah, it's very warm for all of us, and you've just got a lot of fluid on board really before you go out. And I just had a lot of problems with the bike yesterday, so I only got 1 lap of qualifying in, so I'm a bit nervous about the bike making it for the full race, and then it did, it pulled it out for me. So I did well, caught up a few lads, and I've had some good battles out there, and so I'm really pleased.
That's brilliant. Tony, who would you like to thank?
I'd just like to thank Sparklight Racing for keeping my bike going and on the track, and I'd just like to thank Susan for all the work she puts in behind the scenes.
this Tononi Superstock 600 Championship could be his. They are ready to roll. Also, there's game on for second and third places in the championship as well. As away they go, and Mark Hughes there, just nicking across the outside to the in, and doesn't quite make it through into the lead. Seb Bulpin it is that leads, but Mark Hughes very determined, number 8 in second place.
Yeah, great stuff there from Mark Hughes. He did his very best to try and get the whole shot, but it was Bulpin, the man who was... 1-2-1 out there on the Suzuki. Will try and get, there he is in third place, and McRiddle just running a little bit wide into Cascades. Number of riders behind McRiddle. There's Adam Palfreman, just up ahead of the Street Fighter C winner. Provided he makes it around the circuit, it doesn't do anything too silly. Tony Hughes there, number 35. He's going to have a go. Up the inside he goes of Adam Palfreman. Of Mr. Punch, Tony Hughes, number 35, who is just tucked up behind Martin Stanier a few places back there. There is Stanier, who's second in the Street Fighter A Championship. He's number 2 there, Plaskett, and Martin Stanier, 1-2-1. Then it's the first of the Street Fighter V's, McRiddle, number 44, and Tony Hughes just behind him, leading the charge for the Street Fighter C's. Tony missed a couple of rounds this year, so it's not looking like he's going to be able to retain that Street Fighter C title, but it will go down to Mallory, and he'll try and beat Brad Davey and Keith Warren as much as possible and try and pull off the miracle.
I just needed to get my mojo back, so Cadwell's got me that back, and I'm over the moon again.
Tony Hughes nearly had a little bit of a moment, right leg in the air, and I'm not sure whether he almost fell off that. He nearly departed with his KTM there.
Here he comes down into the banking. We'll see if he's a little calmer this time. Knee down, bit of a twitch. Oh, my goodness me, Steve. Is this showboating or has he got a problem?
Well, I think he's concentrating too much on trying to get his knee on the deck and not worrying about the race itself. He's obviously got his sights set on Sean Goldsmith up ahead. Of course, it would be... Tononi Superstock 600s are on the grid ready to race, and number 34 here, John Dean, is ready to go. And with no Seb Bulpin out because he's already the champion, it's really all to play for here. Jonathan Lodge is also on the grid. Mark Hughes here has had a fabulous weekend. It really is a talent for a future. Good luck to Mark. And we've also got Dean Brown, regular from our first season in Thundersport GB. Look out for Lodgy though. It should be a great race, Robin.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Very, very quick riders out there indeed. Sid holds that flag, says watch the lights, and then backs off towards the safety of the grass. And Jonathan Lodge, John Dean, Errol Armitt, Mark Hughes, along with Dean Brown, Nick Anderson, Alex Berkshire, Niall Campbell. There's all sorts out there, but into Reg 8 for the first time. Mark Hughes, wonderful start there from the rider in the number 8 Yamaha.
Yeah, they all make it round cleanly, which is a surprise, but considering they're Superstock 600s, and it is Mark Hughes that leads the 2010 runner-up. He's ahead there, is that Nick Anderson just behind him.
Great start,
good start, yeah. There's Lodgy, number 2, going through. Jonathan Lodge, who, if you recall back to Anglesey in the wet, was thrilling. He won every race by a country mile, but here we are, it's Mark Hughes who's doing the business. Number 17, Ian Popplewell, who we didn't see at Brands on the TV. He raced on the Saturday, but unfortunately hurt his back. So nice to see Ian back out there on the Triumph 675. He's in the B class, but at the front then it's Rothwell that leads. In second place, Martin Stanier. In third, Ian Popplewell, and then it's Glenn Denning. Trying to find out where Andy Plaskett's got to. He didn't start off too well. There's Tony Hughes, regular Street Fighter C winner in the Street Fighters. No champion Keith Smith this year, of course. He's moved on to the RST Clothing Golden Era. He's one of our ex-super teams, having a good year. First season in his
Superstock 600. Good lead there for Mark Hughes. Jonathan Lodge now in second. Anderson in third. That's Alex Berkshire fourth ahead of Errol Armitt. And that's Sean Brown just behind him.
Yes, Errol Armitt, who's had, well, up and down years.
Oh, and Mark's off! Mark's off! And that's a big crash. Look at the bike. Oh my goodness. That is an absolute wreck. Oh dear, oh dear. As they go into Craner Curves, it's always fast there. Let's have a look at this. Just tips in, loses the front, and as soon as it picks and hits the grass, here comes the cartwheel. Good to see Mark getting up and okay, but his bike, on the other hand, that bike's in intensive care by the looks of things.
That has just X'd itself. Good night, Vienna.